You're on a bit of a whirlwind tour.
Well, yes, it has been with the release of this movie.
Ravan.
That's right, you pronounced it correctly.
Thank you very much. And your husband plays the bad guy.
Yes.
We can talk more about him later.
Mm-hmm.
You are good, though.
Well, yeah, feisty. I'd like to describe myself as a bit of a tigress in the movie. Yeah.
Given that you are one of the biggest stars in the whole world, I need to have your verdict on the clock, please, the 5-minute clock.
What's with the clock? I've been fascinated ever since you've been holding it. I mean, what is it with this clock?
Well, it's to time the interview, basically.
Oh, all right.
It's going to be exactly 5 minutes.
Perf. Never seen something like
What did
this.
you call it, perf?
As in perfect. Perfect. I have never seen one like this in any interview to actually make sure that we hit it on the dot.
3, 2, 1.
Go.
What is it like being called the most beautiful woman in the world?
Oh, it's sweet, and why I thank people for your generosity. I don't entirely believe it, but it's a good way to start an interview. So thank you.
Get off to a good start. Always important. You were Miss World.
Yes.
Back in 1994.
A long time ago, yes.
Apart from your husband, Abhishek Bachchan,
that's right.
an actor,
Of course.
who is the most handsome man in the world?
Wow. Well, you're going to ask a girl, she's going to say her daddy. That's my father, yeah. He's been the man for me until my husband as well, so, yeah.
Family is very important.
Absolutely.
In India. And when you come over to do interviews in the West, you get asked about it a lot.
A lot, yeah.
You live with your in-laws.
Yes. Before marriage, I'd be asked if I lived with my parents, and people, for some reason, would be so intrigued and fascinated by this whole idea, which to us as Indians is normal. I mean, growing up, we live with our family. We are a very, very family-oriented culture. And I've lived with my parents right up to the point I got married. And as Indians, mostly, when a girl does get married, she goes and stays with her husband, who also stays with his family, largely. I mean, I'm not saying that in the urban culture people are not living independently of their parents, but largely as a culture, this is the setup. We're all very, very family-oriented.
Can you tell me about arranged marriages?
Well, I didn't have one eventually, and there is a lot of love marriages or people kind of getting married by their own choices in India today. But largely, if you look at the heart of India, and the population is huge, so largely, yes, it is. That is the more common practice as Indians or as a culture.
Is there a feeling in India that India is a rising force on the world stage?
Well, it's not just in India. I think this feeling is world over, and it's a great feeling. It's a wonderful feeling.
Is the UK taking...
Not rising, an established force.
An established.
I'd love to correct that.
You correct away. Is the UK taken seriously in India or not?
Oh yeah, obviously. I think we have an old connect, and that's going steady even today. I think, especially through multimedia and just I think Indians are everywhere. We have such a strong expat community, Indian Asian community here in the UK, in London, that I think it's only natural that the connect exists.
Do you think there will always be severe poverty in India?
Not just in India, but I think world over. And we strive as a human community to try and erase the term severe, if not erase poverty altogether. But that's a larger-than-life expectation to happen immediately, but the efforts are on that eventually at some point in time, whenever that be, sooner than later would be great, that poverty does cease to exist world over, not just in India.
Let's get back to acting and to you. Would you ever swap Bollywood for Hollywood?
No, I don't see the need for swapping whatsoever, because we're actors. I've always maintained that, we're gypsies, we go where our work takes us. Even in India, I've worked in Hindi movies largely, being Indian, but I've also worked in Tamil movies, I've done a Bengali movie. So when English movies came to be, it just meant broadening your horizons and your experiences as an actor, which could be in America, which is what makes it Hollywood, here in England, or any part of the world. So if it means, because I guess the borders are blurring, and your audience is a lot more international today, you can become easily a part of world cinema, but there's no need to move bag and baggage in this day and age.
Can you tell me exactly how many languages you speak?
I have encountered, well, English, of course, Hindi being my national language, Tulu being the region of India I come from Bangalore. These I speak fluently, but living in Mumbai, I know Marathi. I know a sprinkling of a lot of Indian languages, be it Gujarati, Tamil, Bengali, because I've done the movie. So a lot of Indian languages aren't foreign to the ear, but I may not be able to just strike up a conversation, but I do understand a lot of Indian languages.
Now, you and your husband are rather like the Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
We always turn that around and say, well, they're like the Aishwarya and Abhishek of America. So I guess, these are just comparisons made by the media for easy reference, but really it's not something that we think about.
You have a Dutch tulip named after you?
Yes, when I was in Amsterdam during the IFA a couple of years ago, it was really sweet that they did actually name a tulip, quite a pretty one actually, red and yellow, lovely shade, after me, and thank you.
And you're in Madame Tussauds?
Yeah, that too, here.
That
and I think now in the States as well. Ah!
Is it?
Hit it! That was quick.
That was good.
Wow, to answer at the speed. Nice having met you. Cheers.
Very good.
Cheers.